Hey everybody, welcome back to the Fish Tank. It's tournament time again. We've got some 1v1 Fishbowl Brawl action. Dark Crow against f1cus in the semi-final. In the other semi-final, it's set against Renzo. That video is going to be available as well, so check that out if you want to see that. Just a reminder, of course, I do have my monthly tournaments back in action. So that's a 1v1 and 2v2 Fishbowl Brawl. They are play over time events, so you get 3 days to complete each of your matches. Hopefully you can play it at a convenient time for both you and your opponents. And if you're interested in getting involved in those, check out the link in the description. They do launch with each new patch. So the current 1.49 Vanguard patch has a couple of tournaments running. Of course, they're running already, so you can't get in those. But we'll have another couple starting soon with the start of the next patch. So make sure you keep your eyes open on wherever you get your Minion Masters news. To make sure you don't miss out on that. Loads of prizes, guaranteed prizes for everyone as well. Anyway, let's talk about what we've got today. Dark Crow against f1cus in the semi-final. And if you're following along with the Knight's Duel that we have each month, you'll know that the players get ban powers. And we have the same ban powers available in this tournament. So the players can ban a Master and 3 cards. That prevents their opponent from playing those. And of course, their opponent has the power to do the same to them. So if we have a look, we're going to look at Dark Crow's bans first. So Dark Crow's banned Morelia. Pretty standard. Also Bounceberry Flingers, Herald Our Moon, which I think is quite targeted against f1cus, and High Inquisitor Ardera, pretty meta. And also the alternative bans from f1cus are Wrecked, Scrutillery, Ardera, and the Zeppelin Bomber. So not quite the same meta bans, maybe targeted. Remember, these players do play against each other a lot on the ladder, so they get an idea of what they're going to play. Right. So that's what they can't play. Let's see what they do play. We're going to load in and check out the action. Let's go. Okay, here we go. Game number 1 of this best of 5. Dark Crow against f1cus. We've got our dual deck technology. We just need to make sure that we get the replays synchronized, and then we should be good to go. Right, Apep against... Sorry, Morelia against Apep. Nailed it. Right, so of course we see Shrooms to start with. Shrooms from the Bounceberry Flinger and the Shen Shock Stick, so looks like some real Zenshi stuff coming out from Dark Crow. And f1cus looks like he's playing... f1cus looks like he's burning. Okay. It looks like he's playing kind of a very set-esque deck. Right. The Shock Stick comes in. Got to be careful of that Battle Monkey. It does hit very hard. It is buffed, and of course, the more units around it, the faster it does attack. Right. Let's have a look. XP's about level. ATG drone could be a problem for f1cus to deal with. Let's have a look. Battle Monkey clearing everything at the top. Not much solid anti-air from f1cus here. That Shroomer's going to get to the side and split. There's the beam, though. And the beam, of course, is that get out of jail free card. And now Dark Crow knows he's got that. He needs to be careful not to stack too much stuff together. Aimbot's such a strong card in the meta. When you power it up with the marksmanship, with the nats from the tech, it really is powerful. Right, again, Battle Shihao, very strong. Of course, if you watch my meta video for 1.49, you'll see these cards that I'm mentioning are featuring very heavily in there. There you can see how difficult it is to deal the aimbot with the nats, because the nats aren't aggroed on face, so they will just protect it. And this aimbot being a bit of a pain to deal with. Perk 2 for Dark Crow. He's got that empowered spellbook. Now, he doesn't want to lose the Reboomer here if possible. Right, Blood Imp's out. f1cus doesn't have a very good way of punishing these Blood Imps. The beam's not going to do much damage to them, but it does kill the ATG drone. Had to sacrifice the Wrecked Walker there just to try to clear with that. And there's the split on the Shroomers, and they do push forward. They do have the Growth Burst Shroom buff as well, but there's the Battle Monkey. It is going to go absolutely ham. It's very, very fast attack speed. I think it was probably max there. But then, of course, it comes up with the Defenso Chopper and effectively runs into a wall. Dark Crow, Morelia going to get that Dragon Push at perk 3. That could be very, very powerful. Shen is going to be a useful tool for ff1cus to deal with the dragon if we get there. If that can be set up. Choosing not to beam this time, so it's going to take some face damage. Doesn't have a shield available. Very difficult to get anti-air aggroed on that ATG drone without it being aggroed back. And you saw the stint die underneath there. Right. Battle Monkey. Again, Defenso. Dark Crow knows he just needs to hold that Defenso for the Battle Monkey. And vice versa, really, for ff1cus. Okay, this Boomer's going to die, I think. Unfortunately. Is it? Oof, just. The Cleaver comes in and closes it out. That's probably a fake Cleaver from the perk. There it is. Illusory Cleaver. Right. ff1cus burning some mana now. Burning a lot of mana. He was waiting there, I think, for the bottom bridge to be clear so we could grab it with the aim, but the stint. But we don't like to see mana being burnt there. ATG drone being a real problem here. How's he going to deal with this? Battle Monkey's going to clear the stuff on the ground, but the ATG drone is still a pain. Spear throwers do weaken it, but it's still just coming around murdering everything. Right, Dark Crow in the driving seat at the moment. It's done a lot of face damage. Ahead on perk 3, there's his dragon. Remember, it's going to be a one-time only dragon. Can he make the best of it? He's going for the spirit. There's only 2 units out, so he's guaranteed the spirit to drop on the dragon. It does feel like ff1cus has burnt a lot of mana over this game. Shen Shockstick kills the bounty sniper. Shen is going to do a good job keeping that dragon busy, but the Impetus Blast pulls the Shen out of the pocket. It's now in trouble. But again, the Defenso locking down the Battle Shihao. But the dragon's going to be on face. Oh my god, it's desperately trying to attack. In comes the Reboomer. And this might be just too much. Looks like Dark Crow's going to take the first game here. And the Dragon Push ultimately was too much. Dark Crow takes the first game. 1-0. Okay, here we go. Game number 2. It's Dark Crow leading the game to 0. And it's an Apep mirror matchup. Let's see what's going to go on. Korgoth. Okay, so straight away, Korgoth has been used. Remember, he has to use that seal a couple of times, and then it's going to be Korgoth available. So we're going to have a Voidborn deck for ff1cus. He did get lucky with Korgoth being in his opening hand, but let's see how Dark Crow can cope with it. Korgoth, very, very strong in the meta at the moment, has received a lot of bans, but not preventing ff1cus from playing this one. Again, we see some staple cards. Defenso Chopper, Aimbot, but the Magma Storm comes in. I remember every time ff1cus uses the seal of Korgoth, it will invoke the Voidborn cards in his hand. That means they'll be replaced with a Voidborn card that is 1 mana more expensive in value, but doesn't cost that extra mana. So you can see he's got a 3 mana Incubus there. Plus a couple of Wheels of Doom. Will he get a chance to use those? Will he hold on to potentially invoke them further? Right. So we know ff1cus is playing this late game deck. It's going to get very powerful once that Korgoth is out. What does Dark Crow have to answer it? So those 2 Wills being a little bit awkward at the moment. Could punish some Blood Imps here. Well, he goes for his own Assassin. I'm not sure that was exactly the right play. His Assassin looked like it may be clearing stuff out there. Right, Succubus is a much better answer to this. Tries to pull the Succubus out of the pocket with the Impetus Blast, but it doesn't quite get it correct. You've got to be careful. If you blast it along the wall of the tower, it just gets stuck. You've got to blast it in a way where it doesn't sort of pull against anything. So maybe a small misplay there from Dark Crow. Didn't really change too much. But there we go. Korgoth is out on the field. And remember also, once Korgoth gets a kill, once per attack, he will also invoke something in his hand. So he's got a 3 mana Rammer in there, for example. So, slight XP lead for Darkrai at the moment, but it's going to start getting very difficult for him to deal with. He does have some good tools to deal with this. Needs to block this. I feel like he could have... Oh, no. I'm not sure if it was in his hand or not. It feels like he could have blocked that with his totem, but didn't. Maybe he wasn't ready for it. I'm not sure. Seemed like a potential little misplay. Nice little Impetus Blast there. Disengaging or almost disengaging the Whelp, but then able to re-aggro it onto the Defenso Chopper. So you can see, since Korgoth has been available, we've seen Ficus get a little bit back into the XP race. Korgoth a ranged unit with that attack, so doesn't get stunned by the Defenso Chopper. Now, how does the Assassin do at the bottom here against the Shroomers? Looks like it's going to die. Okay. ATG Drone's going to wail away on the Korgoth. Nice. Shen Shockstick takes out the Succubus that was behind. And that time, Korgoth doesn't really get too much value at all. I think there's an Assassin at the bottom, so that needs to be dealt with. Is he aware of it? Yes, he is, but he doesn't play it correctly. He tried to tank it with the trap, but made a little misplay. So a couple of misplays we see from Darkrai. Took a big hit on that monkey there that really didn't need to happen. Okay, that's a healer from perk 3. Can that get some value? Let's see. The Assassin goes down, but it's going to get ranged away. Again, that's another misplay! Tries to use the Impetus Blast to get the Succubus underneath the ATG drone. Didn't play it correctly. That means he has to use the Shock Stick as well. So again, another misplay there from Darkrai. Slight XP lead now for Ficus. The longer the game goes on, the seemingly better it gets for him. Does get a Curse Bearer here, which could be great if he can grab a sorry, not a Curse Bearer, a Spirit Mancer, sorry. If he can get a Spirit onto... There we go. It happened before I could even get the words out. So the Spirited Korgoth is going to be even more annoying to deal with. Nice Morgul's Mark there. Deals with the Reboomer and keeps it away from his units. Well, that doesn't look like a great Magma Storm. All these last few, though, are looking much better. Oh, only really one hit. It looked like it wasn't correctly aimed. A lot of them really didn't land in a good position. And Darkrai's doing a great job dealing with this Korgoth, but it takes a while to do so, and consequently, that's where Ficus is getting his XP lead. Even though it's very slight right now. If Ficus can get to Mana Frenzy and have the bridge, at least one lane occupied by Korgoth for a while, that's going to be pretty problematic. Those Blood Imps are going to really hurt on Darkrai there. We know, we've seen in the Knight's Duel before, Darkrai has played Blood Imps in a way that they do get really punished. He can't really afford to play them again. Unless he plays them completely opposite to that Reboomer, that's for sure. Right. Excuse me, Ficus still has a small XP lead. So he's going to play defensively here. So this opens up a little opportunity for Darkrai to get his Mana Frenzy and to lock the bridges down, whilst Ficus is trying to fight back. That's a fake cleaver. That's got to be a real one. Okay, so bridges are Darkrai's for a while, but how does he deal with this? Magma Storm. I don't love that Magma Storm. That's a great Wheel of Doom, though. Some good value there. This is real close. Now Ficus knows he has to put pressure on the bridges. That top bridge should be his for a while with Korgoth there. Darkrai's very low HP as well. Needs to be careful. That Ghost could be terrifying. It's going to go for the ATG drone. I feel like it's not going to last. Right. We've got the Void Altar now. Can he get some value out of it? He's got to be careful because sometimes you roll the dice with it and you get nothing from it. Like it could be getting here. Does he have a rammer or something to send through? No. Void Altar gets shut down. This is problematic now for F1cus. Succubus clearing everything here. The trap doing an amazing job. Sorry, not the trap. The totem doing an amazing job keeping him alive. Okay, F1cus, does he have another chance? Looked like maybe that Void Order play that got shut down could have been just too much for him to cope with, but he was able to clear and go again. He's going to take some damage here. Oof. Big explosion there. I wasn't even sure what that was. ATG drone is a problem. It's going to tank it though. Hey, this could be a long one. Darkrow having the better of the bridges, but F1cus still able to hold on. And remember, that is Korgoth generating mana value, of course. Every time it is getting a kill from an attack, once per attack, it does get that invoke. Darkrow does need to be careful with this attack as well because he doesn't have much HP left at all. Not sure what that impetus was for. We're 9 minutes in. Darkrow takes a little bit more face damage from something. And F1cus is defending deep, so he is just giving the bridges away, but... Okay, there's the impetus. Oh, Gax has popped out. Has Darkrow seen the Gax? Does he have a shield available? No, he doesn't. That's really frustrating for Darkrow. It felt like he could hold on. But there's the Gax from the invoke. One game all. Here we go. Game number 3. It's one game all. Darkrow against F1cus. And again, we see an early Korgoth from F1cus. And again, he gets lucky having it in his opening hand. That really helps getting Korgoth out as quickly as possible. So it's Apep against Diona. So straight away, Darkrow knows he's got the same sort of battle as he did in the last one. He was unfortunate in that last match, Darkrow. That invoke-generated Gax really closed the match out against him, and it looks like he was in a good position to hold on and maybe actually get a win. But who knows? But let's see what happens this time. Okay, nice interaction there, using the trap to try to hold the bridge, but then the Chain Lightning closes it down. Zip Zapinator, another strong legendary unit. Remember, it did get nerfed in the latest patch, so you do have to wait 2 seconds between usage of the more Zap. Right, here's the Magma Storm. It's awkward to use the Magma Storm here. He's probably going to take some friendly damage as well from it. He's taken huge damage, and he still hasn't cleared this up. Right. Remember, he wants to get Korgoth out as quickly as possible without being too far behind. He's behind on XP and behind on HP as F1cus at the moment. Darkrow does have a few face damage spells, so if it does go into a long game, that could be really useful. The owner, of course, does have the potential to heal from Ruffles. But another fairly scary looking push. Shen Shockstick comes in, clears everything down. This is going to be a lot of damage on F1cus. And he's going to be strong when Korgoth comes out, but he might not even get there. Real pressure coming in here, and it's not even closed out yet. Oh, he's so low. He can close them. Not sure what that ping-in is for. He has the Chain Lightning. He could go for face here. There it is. He saw it eventually. I'm not sure what that ping-in was for. Okay, Darkrow takes the third game quickly. 2-1. Right, game number 4. Darkrow leading 2-1. It's King Puff against Diona. Again, another really early Korgoth. He's got real lucky that it appears there. Goes with the wheel and shuts down the Cage Prowler. You'll be happy with that. Could have maybe hit face with that if you targeted a little bit better. Okay, Growth Burst Shroom empowered Battle Shihao. Because was very susceptible in the last match to a big push. Waiting to try to get that Korgoth out. Chain lining clears the reboomer, and of course that means that at some point ficus has to commit something else to take that bottom bridge. Right. Can he shut this down? I don't know. I don't think so. He can't. You might think that the Blood Imps there are insane, but guess what? Blood Imps being hit by a cleaver, that's less damage than the cleaver hitting your face, and he's able to clear it out and get back on the bridge quickly, so I don't hate that. Magma Storm again, going to clear the AT drone. Is the Battle Monkey going to take some collateral damage? Doesn't, but gets caught up in the bear trap. That's kind of annoying. It's a little hit off on face, not too much. Right, Rammer comes in. Could support it with a Taunt Trap here. There it is, Taunt Trap, trying to get as much damage out of this Rammer as possible. Using the Morgrel's Mark there to put the taunt on the Defenso so that the Rammer would hit it. I'm not sure that was the best play. Could have done some more face damage potentially. No Wheel of Doom this time to shut down the Cage Prowler since that was invoked, but Korgoth is available once the mana's ready, so he's just going to sit here and await the Korgoth spawn. Right, the trap shuts down the Prowler. Nicely done. XP lead for Dark Crow at the moment. Oh, the Chain Lightning's going to come in. Succubus goes down. Ruffles does pick up a vial there, gets some mana for ficus. And ficus really wants to get Korgoth out, but the pressure is preventing him from doing so, and he's falling a long way down on XP at the moment. Sometimes you just have to bite the bullet, just sit back, get your big unit out. That didn't sound right. Now he's burning mana. Still no Korgoth. What's his plan? Oh, that bridge swap. Right, here we go. Korgoth is out. Just look at the range on Korgoth here. That's an aimbot with marksmanship. Korgoth doesn't give a single flip. Right, the Rammer. Can it put some pressure on here? Looks like it can. Going to shut down the Cage Prowler, so that's going to work out nicely for him. Whelp's going to start chewing. Keeps the aimbot alive there with the Glenn's Brew. That's from perk. That Succubus is going to be annoying though. Blood Imps are going to take a lot of damage there. Battle Monkey's going to go down, is it? Just, but look at Ficus's HP. That's a real problem. He is going to get a heal from Ruffles here, so suddenly he's looking a lot healthier than he was 2 seconds ago. The trap's going to get some value on the ATG drone. Ruffles goes down. Rammer comes in, shuts down the Prowler. But the ATG drone's being a problem, but the Whelp does chew it. But Ficus needs to be real careful with his HP. He's very low indeed. Okay, Night Puffs don't survive. Ruffles going for some XP. The Yellow Vial not going to get it. The good XP lead for Dark Crow at the moment here. Haven't seen too much Night Puff action. But ATG drone really is being a bit of an MVP at the moment. Nice tank in there, picking up the shield. So he doesn't take the hit, does he? Oh, the cleaver just gets the hit off. That's kind of annoying. But it is, I guess, what it is. Remember, Dark Crow 2-1 up. If he takes this, he gets into the grand final. Oh, the Chain Lightning was a little bit late there. A little bit misplayed as well. Needed to hit the Assassin first, ideally. Trap shuts down the Prowler. Darkro has to handle everything with care here. So much danger just everywhere. Magma Storm comes in. It's going to start doing some face damage. Reduced face damage, of course, but still, that's a problem. And f1cus is fighting back. 2 games all. We go into a decider. Here we go. The 5th and final game, the decider. Darkro for Lorien. f1cus, Ravager. Who can get into the grand final?
Dawn beckons.
Let's find out. Right. Korgoth again from f1cus. Again getting lucky. Wasn't in his opening hand, but was his 5th card. So basically in his opening hand. Has Darkro expected f1cus to go with a similar strat? Has he teched in some stuff to deal with it? Seems to have a lot of stuns. Bridge grab from the Morgul's Mark. One of the reasons it makes it so strong. Or the Chain Lightning again. I feel like it wasn't quite targeted right. It did hit the tower first and then the Reboomer, which meant the Reboomer didn't die. It just got popped. It's a little mistake there, and it could be a problem because the Reboomer is such a pain to deal with when it's surrounded by other things. Right, how is this perk 1 going to look? The Brutus push. He's got a Reboomer of his own. Going to sacrifice for the greater good. Right, Reboomer goes down. I think there might be an assassin at the top. Was there something there? Yep, it's a Malshar. Right, that's the 2nd seal. So Korgoth will be available on the next cycle. Tranquil Healing, as you like to see. One of my favourite cards in the game. Right. Remember 2-2. Winner of this gets into the grand final, where they'll play Set or Renzo. So we've got an XP lead for f1cus at the moment. So I hope you're happy with the way this has gone. At least so far. And now he's got time to play the Korgoth. Is he going to play the Korgoth in the opposite lane, or is he going to big ball? Let's have a look. There he goes. He doesn't want to risk the Korgoth getting shut down by the Zip. But he does need to have something to defend at the bottom here. Got to be careful. Can't take too much face damage here. The Battle Monkey's on face. Zip's on face. Reboomer getting some good value there. Korgoth goes down before the Reboomer dies, so the Reboomer is going to live to fight another day. Good interaction there for Darkro. Catching up on XP a little bit, but still decently behind. The Reboomer is going to spawn again. Doesn't get to move and do anything, though. Nice. Tries to keep the Reboomer alive, but everything dies. In an ideal scenario there, the Reboomer would have spawned and then got hit, and hopefully not hit again, but you're playing the averages a little bit at that point. But look, Korgoth's almost immediately dead here. Swinging wildly. This game's going to be all about f1cus's perk 3, Terror Brutus push. How does Darkro deal with it? Can he deal with it? What does he have to shred through it? He's going to have the Zip probably in the pocket. Okay, the Battle Monkey first. Really needs to deal with the Succubus, I think. The Succubus is the main DPS there. I don't think he's dealing with this particularly well. That Succubus is still alive. Needs to be peeled off once the Succubus is dead. The Terror Brutus is a lot more easy to deal with, but the Blast Monster, sorry, the Reboomer doing exactly what it needs to. And again, okay, Reboomer MVP at that situation, but a big XP lead for f1cus here. Okay, Ficus' perk 3's come and gone. Remember, it's a one-time only perk, so no further perk 3 benefit from Ficus. This time, oh my goodness, look at that! Korgoth is melting here. It was played before the zip, I think, so the zip was able to be played against it, and it absolutely got shut down, and this is a problem for Ficus. Succubus goes down to the last hit here. Reboomer's going to clear everything, and I don't think Ficus can hold on. Darkrow's going to take this and be in the grand final. There we go. Darkrow takes it by 3 games to 2. Super close match. Lots of Korgoth action. Wow. What a game. That lucky Gax kill was really interesting to see. Korgoth, as we can see, so powerful, but does have its weaknesses, and Darkrow did a great job in a couple of those games from shutting down. We did see some misplays from both players, but some great plays as well. And always good to see these top players battling it out. So that means that Darkrow is in the grand final of the first ever Fishbowl Brawl, where he'll be playing either Set or Renzo. We'll put a link somewhere where you can see that match. So watch that, see who's going to be in the grand final. And of course, come back to make sure you don't miss the grand final action here. We'll also have some 2v2 matches hopefully coming up soon as well here in the Fish Tank. So make sure you hit that subscribe button if you don't want to miss out on any of the action here with the Minion Masters tournament features in the Fish Tank. I'm Bad as a Fish, and as always, I'm awkwardly waving.